Tone Vays, thank you so much for joining us. A pleasure to meet you and talk to you at this event here in Riga. How are you finding the event so far?
The event's great. Every year they manage to get some of the best speakers and a really good crowd. Lots of my fans are here, which is awesome.
Just going back to sort of where you've come from in your kind of like career. You started off in a more like traditional kind of setting and then sort of transitioned a bit more towards the kind of blockchain crypto sphere. How have you found that kind of transition? Was it easy? Because now we're seeing kind of more traditional banks kind of making a similar sort of move or maybe trying to embrace a newer technology.
It's always a difficult transition when you leave a well-paying traditional job for the crypto space. It's kind of scary. It's easy for people that didn't really have a job, they have tech ideas, they just jumped out of college. It's easy for them. But if you have a promising career, to quit all that and come to a brand new industry is always difficult and challenging. I did okay. I had other things to fall back on. I made my niche with blockchain and crypto education, trading education. I combined what I knew very well. I had trading experience. I was a pretty good trader before. I was a teacher before. I'm very good at educating. And I was able to use those skills to monetize what I really want to do and what I'm doing now, traveling the world, educating what is Bitcoin, why it's important, and I really enjoy doing that.
Talk about education and traveling the world as well. Where are you finding like that's most receptive to kind of what you're teaching and where maybe is a little bit backed off from what you're teaching?
Europe is actually very receptive to Bitcoin in general. And it might be because Europe has gone through a lot more currency crisis over the years. The euro is only 20 years old, so people are very familiar with what it was like on other currencies. Lately, there's been financial problems in Greece, in Cyprus before that, and Italy is always on the brink. So here in Europe, also Eastern Europe, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that it was all Russia and the Soviet Union. Russian currency, Ukrainian currency recently went through some trouble with small hyperinflation by losing over 50% of its value. Turkey is going through it now. So these regions are very important because unlike the developing world, like Venezuela and like India, people here have a lot to lose. There is an established middle class, and there's people with savings, and there's people with retirement accounts. And I see Europe as the leader in understanding why it's important to have some of your assets in Bitcoin in order to protect your future.
You have a big online following and a very successful YouTube channel. What are the number one videos that you produce that get the most kind of feedback from people, and what people, because how do you explain Bitcoin to someone who has no idea and like trying to bring people on board, because people are scared from the outset to try and like, how do you sort of manage to bring people in as well as you do?
So my YouTube channel mostly centered around my views on Bitcoin, and the guests that I bring on are in line with those views. I get some criticism saying, well, how come you're not debating or presenting the other side? And my reply to that is, well, this is a channel showing you the expertise of one side. You can go somewhere else and learn the other. So there are several different types of videos on my channel. Ironically, the ones that get the most views and I have the biggest following for are the trading shows, where I analyze the price of Bitcoin as a technical analyst, a little bit of fundamental from a trader side. Other than that, I have shows talking about the news events and trying to explain what Bitcoin is and some of the projects are. My favorite show is the Law Show, which isn't as common as it used to be, where I put together a group of 3 to 4 lawyers in the crypto space and we talk about all the legal issues. That's the one you're probably going to learn the most from. I also have a series called Crypto Scam, where we try to critically analyze projects in the space and explain why they're not good. And I also occasionally interview people, but my main following is trading, because everyone wants to predict the price of Bitcoin and try to be a millionaire as a trader.
And just finally, I hear you're a very big fan of Ripple. Is that true?
So Ripple has been one of those projects, along with Ethereum, that I've been one of the biggest critics in the world, pretty much since the moment I heard of their existence. Now, Ripple started before I came into the space as a public person. Ethereum started after. I'm a big critic of these projects. I don't think they're now, the ideas of those projects aren't necessarily bad. It's the fact that they had to invent their own money to do it, and I think that will fail. There is absolutely no reason to have Ripple the token for the functionality of Ripple, and everything that Ethereum has accomplished will be replaced by a Bitcoin sidechain. Right now we have Liquid. There could be others that are even better. You just don't need to invent an insecure database with its own insecure money that is significantly more centralized or just centralized, because Bitcoin, if it doesn't do all of its functionality right now, just stay patient and build your project on top of a more stable blockchain. And I believe in the future there will only be one blockchain that matters, the way we have one internet that matters. I'm sure there's a dozen other internets. No one cares what they are. That is exactly how I see blockchains. It'll just be Bitcoin. Learn it, understand it, build on top of it, or your project will probably fail.
Amazing. Tone, thank you so much. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Excellent.